Want to say welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tony Hollis Live Talk Show Testify. You all sit right there, and we will be back to crank this show up, okay? Well, we back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say that we have turn this down a little bit. I want to say that we have uh, some issues, shall I say, some topics that we want to try to cover. It's about three of them. But the main topic is going to be I want to speak to you about the bail bonding, Arkansas bail bonding system. Uh, Now you know that we have a bailing system to where all is required is 10% for you to make bond. Well, all of that will end come 2024. But I want to say, I want to go and mention some things about a scholarship um funding that we have here in Blythe, Arkansas, the Blythe School District. There was some concerns that a scholarship fund, those funds had not been released to the students. This living trust that was set up in the name of a school teacher who taught for Blythe School District for about 38 years. Her name was Jane Sinclair, and there was some confusion as to have any of that money been released to the students, scholarship awards. Well, I did do some digging into that. Did speak with, text message that is, to a school board member, Toby Johnson, Miss Toby Johnson. She shared some information with me about uh, that funding committee program, what have you, and also the superintendent. She and I was corresponding email, and there's another lady. I want to say her name is I think Miss Ashley. Can't pronounce her. I don't remember the last name, but those people have been working with me. They did get me the information that I need, and I just want to share with you all real quickly that there were three scholarships that had been given out uh, since this um scholarship funding was set up, and those three names I had them up here. These are three names right here. Uh, Lord, no, I'm bad at pronouncing names. I just let you look at them. In 2021, what is that first name? Uh, Kathan, Kathan Bailey Mercuston. I can't pronounce those names. That was in 2021. Now this was the easy one here. 2022, Camille Gardner. That's my church member. Lil Camille. Um, Congrats. And also 2023 of this year goes out to Raham Anam. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct, but those are the three names that the scholarship funding was given out to 21, 22, and 23. So the funding have been released. Uh, as a scholarship again that was set up in Miss Jane Sinclair. She was a school teacher here for Blythe, Arkansas, school teacher slice counselor. She taught for about, I think they said, what, a total of 38 years. And she left her life savings. She wanted to help students in the Blythe School District further their education. That was very noble of Miss Sinclair to think of the students. And so she donated her entire life savings, from what I'm told, to the Blythe School District scholarship funding. And so let's give Miss Jane Sinclair, let's keep her in our memory. As again, that was a very noble, heartfelt thing that she did. Okay, so we get that out of the way. Um, there is also I had it written down here. I've told you all that there's an election going on. Uh, I think Osceola got a city tax that's coming up to where they're trying to improve the quality of life for their residents down there. Tuesday is election day. Okay. Same thing here for Blythe. We'll have a school board race that's going on. Um, the only race that I know is between Larry McClellan and Carolyn Lewis. I know that is one uh, um, race that is going on for the Blythe School Board. Okay. And I want to say, while we're into this election season, you all be aware of those folks who come to you that is being paid to campaign for a particular candidate. Uh, they making a dollar, so you can't too much trust anything that they tell you. Okay, I'm not saying that's with every uh, uh, person who's helping with the various candidates, but do like I do when they come talk to you about these particular candidates. What I do, I put them through the test. They ought to be able to tell me something about their candidate. If they can't tell me nothing about their candidate, no more than just say vote for them, you need to just tell them thanks and have a good day and move on. Okay, so be aware of these folks who's out here campaigning. Can't tell you nothing about the candidate, but they want you to vote for that person. Okay, but the best thing you can do is do your own facts finding on these candidates. All right. Um, Also, the Kevion Jones case. I ran uh, a show, a broadcast on that last week. And I want to say to the citizens and also the family as well, if they hadn't already, I would say that due to the fact we know that uh, the Arkansas State Police did a sloppy job in investigating the death of Kevion Jones. Therefore, I would hope that the citizens of Osceola, as well as the family, I will hope that you all will call upon your mayor, uh, Joe Harris of Osceola, and as well as the city council members. You need to have them to reach out to the DOJ, the Department of Justice, to have them to come in to determine if the civil and constitutional rights uh, of Kevion Jones was violated. Okay, so have your mayor, Mayor Joe Harris, and city council members, have them to reach out to DOJ, Department of Justice, to have them to consider opening up an investigation into the shooting death by Osceola police officers of Kevion Jones. Okay, trying to make sure I got everything. And last, uh, I want to say that do you all remember the Alabama brawl, what they call it? Got to fighting down there on this boat or what have you. What I want to tell you, that gentleman, the co-captain, believe it or not, they have came back and they have decided to charge him as well. His name, that's Miss Sinclair. His name is, I had his name up here. Here go his name. Damian Pickett. That was a riverboat co-captain. Uh, I don't know what the prosecutor is looking at. This man was doing his job. This man was physically attacked by a mob of folks that jumped on him. They threw the first punch. And so he's been charged. I think just recently they charged him. And so for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, uh, let me just uh, take you back to that particular uh, uh, event, if you will, to where the co-captain, this black gentleman who was jumped on by this mob for just doing his job. Okay, so let's go ahead and show that right now, if we will. Okay. Okay.
Thanks for watching our
Okay, I'm pretty
YouTube
sure you
channel. Follow
all,
today's top stories
let me
and
get rid
breaking
of this.
news by downloading the
Pretty sure you
NBC
all
News
saw that.
app.
Uh, in terms of what happened on down in Alabama. How this gentleman was charged, I don't know. But nevertheless, they did charge him. And so he will be having his court day also in court. So I just wanted to show you that he was assaulted first, just defending himself. It's just strange how you can shoot somebody dead with a weapon in self defense, or you can come to the defense of another with a weapon to shoot somebody. Nothing is said. It's considered self defense. But in this particular case, you get a gentleman, no weapons used, just using his physical hands to defend himself. And he can't do that. He's being charged. I mean, a mob of folks that jumped on him, punching him, kicking him, and he's charged. So much for the justice system. But anyway, we're going to get to the issue at hand. We're not going to be long. Uh, want to talk about uh, this 10% bond system that we have. Uh, this 10% bond system, I want to go up here and pull up a slide for you all. But this 10% bond and bail bond system, as of uh, January 2024, okay, January 2024, uh, this bailing system will come to an end. You hear me? It will be coming to an end. Uh, as you can read with me, let's go ahead and read. This is the state statute, of course. I have with me. I have 100. This thick volume of papers you see that I have in my hand. This is 130. I want to say 132 pages here that I printed out by the Arkansas state legislators. These are some laws that has been amended as it relates to our criminal justice system. Right now, the only one that I'm going to be addressing is the bail bonding system today. There's things on here about good time, credit time, when you incarcerated. The probation, parole have been totally restructured, amended those laws. Used to be a point in time when you could serve, 50% or 85% of your sentence. With these new laws that's coming out right now, uh, it's going to get to a point to where you might have to do 100% of your sentence if you're convicted in the court. Okay, so those days of good time and all that, for the most part, you're going to really, really have to have a high bar to cross for your good time credit, as they call it, even to be considered. All right. Uh, Another thing, what makes this bail bonding system somewhat a hot topic is because 10% is what I call a now and later plan. Pay some now and pay some later. You got a $10,000 $50,000 bond. You can get with one of these bail bondsmen locally, or either in the surrounding areas, Jonesboro, Osceola, what have you. And you can put down as little as perhaps maybe uh, 200 bucks, 300 bucks uh, to make bail to get out. You just pay the rest out on time. Well, the state legislators say that those days, now and later, pay some now and pay some later, those days are coming to an end. Okay. And I just want to show we're not going to be long, you all. Promise you, we're not going to be long at all. I actually wasn't going to broadcast today, but I figured I would, just to talk about this 10% bail bond system. Okay. Uh, but let me go back and pull up this bail bonding. I want you all to read along with me there. That section 38. Okay. This is the probation and parole uh, post release supervision. As you can see right here, section 238. You can turn your phone landscape, and you pretty much can see it a whole lot better. But uh, that's the bail bonding system. But I want to show where it's talking about the 10%. Oh, here that's where it said. It's a they don't it don't amend it. You see where it got a strike through, starting out with the exception of other provision. That's a strike through. In other words, it's been amended, except as provided in this section. The premium or compensation for given bond or depositing money or property as bail on any bond shall be 10%, except that the amount be rounded up to the nearest $5 amount. 2A, the premium compensation under subdivision A1 of this section shall be deposited in full prior to release. B, in no event shall all or a portion of the premium or compensation on a subdivision A1 of this section be deposited after release. If property is deposited as bail to meet the premium or compensation on a subdivision A1 of this section, appropriate documentation should be submitted to the court verifying the value of the property deposited as bail, and B, the title or the property has been transferred to the surety. Okay, so uh, that is considering a lot of those things as far as changes, population projection, recidivism. You know how many times this person have been in and out of jail. All of this got to be documented by uh, the bail bondsman. They really is requiring them to keep a whole uh, strenuous uh, documentation on the people that they bail out of they bail out of jail. Okay, and so that will come to an end come January 2024, and of course, uh, I'm trying to scroll, and of course the judges as well as the sheriff department and others, they are a bit somewhat upset uh, because they claiming some bail bondsmen they out here and they're not doing their job correctly. They out there just trying to make some quick money, you know, letting people get out of jail, knowing very well that they're going to struggle to try to keep up the payments on a very high bond. And so they're going to be holding these bail bonding companies. Uh, they're going to be holding their feet to the fire. All right. And this really going to have a profound effect on on the county jail. Uh, that means the sheriff department is going to have to do one or the other, which means they're going to have to either uh, let some people go, or they're going to have to find a way to make room for these new inmates who may not have the bail bond money, uh, to make bail. And so this may also lead to the courts. The courts can actually help, which means instead of setting all these high bonds, for example, I did a broadcast in Osceola back here a few months ago of a young lady who had a ridiculous bond, a very, very, very excessive bond, 16-year-old female who was placed on a 700 and I believe $50,000 bail bond. Well, I don't need to tell you she wasn't going nowhere, and she hadn't went nowhere at that time. All right, setting high bonds for, hot check law, for example, which is not considered a violent crime. Bond jacked up for some people who uh, uh, facing a judge, for those charges. Um, it could be something as simple as what you call a residential burglary or something like that. Uh, you know, anytime there's room where the judge can work to give a bond that a person can make, that's if that person is not a threat to the community, then the judges should give bonds that the individual can make. Okay. Unless, of course, there are situations where it's a murder charge or rape charge or charges against uh, uh, children, for example, that they be violent crimes, sexual crimes or what have you. Now, those individuals there, there's a red mark by their name. These people here we don't want on the street because indeed they are a threat to the community. And so, but that's that. Uh, uh, we have a new bail bonding system. I'm going to be going over this whole page come 2024. All of these new laws in here, probation, parole, something as simple as you may have your driving license revoked or suspended, based on uh, your criminal history. You're in and out of jail. And so these laws are going to affect you. And if you can't drive, okay, if your driving privileges have been revoked, you can't drive, then how are you going to get to work? Okay. So I want to say to everyone, I told you I wasn't going to be long. I want to say to everyone, um, you going to jail for a long stay, how will get a whole lot easier come 2024 January. All that 10% bond, pay a little bit now, what I call a layaway plan. Uh, uh, then again, a now later plan. Pay some now and pay some later. Those days are coming to an end next month. Now, all these other laws that I'm telling you about the them amending the state laws already on the book, all of this here, this 132-page document I got, and it's called what they call this here, and you can do your own research if you like. I put it up here. All you need to do is, just go ahead and Google the Protect Arkansas Act. That is this bill. This bill started out being, I didn't put it up here, but you can look it up yourself. This Protection Arkansas Act, uh, the Protect Arkansas Act, excuse me. It started out as a Senate bill, I believe. Senate Bill 495. Okay, Senate Bill 495. That bill now has become an act, which means the governor already done put her John Hancock on it. She done signed it into law. It has become an act now. And so 495, the Senate Bill 495, it now is considered to be Act 6. I want to say 659, I believe. If I'm wrong, I'll come back and correct that later on. But it is now considered Act 559. Okay. And so please do, if you get any time in the day or whatever, please govern yourself to uh, Google the Protect Arkansas Act. A lot of criminal laws as it relates to probation, parole, charges against children uh, could lead to your driver's license perhaps being somewhat suspended, revoked, or what have you. If you're trying to get a pardon or you're trying to get your record expunged, all of this is going to get harder. Okay. And if you do say you do a pardon, you're trying to have your record pardon, or even in some cases expungement. I think they added a year uh, to what's now is considered, I think it's 4 years. If you do a pardon, file for a pardon, let's just say you filed it this year, 2023, and let's just say you was denied. I think by the way the law is now, you can't file again until 4 years later. Okay. 4 years is when you can file again. Until then, you can't file again. All right. It have to be four years. All right. Well, they added a year to that. Instead of it being 4 years, now it's 5. Okay. And the same thing with some of these like first degree murder or whatever, even those sentences have went up. I think what is it for first degree? I have to go back and look. I'm just giving you an example. For first degree murder or something like that, let's just say you're looking at first degree murder, you're looking at 40 years in jail. That time there uh, uh, is at a point to where you may have to do 100% of that time. All that 85% good time and all that, that stuff finna fly out the window. Um, the only way I believe that they will, and I'm just giving my opinion, that I believe that they may consider giving you some type of credit time, as they call it, is that you may be facing some terminal illness while you have been incarcerated. And if for any reason you get out of jail and your medical condition reverse itself, you got to return back to jail. You know, that's the first option. And if you've been doing pretty good while you've been out, jail's full, the prison post prison transfer board or whatever they call it, they taking the power out of the probation and parole uh, board hand, and they transferring all that power and that authority to the prison transfer board, I think what they call them. Um, and so we got some new laws that's coming into uh, now. Oh yes, let me correct this here. Well, let me bring clarity. The only law that I'm telling you about that will start January 2024, I'm only speaking about the 10% bail bond. Now that will start 2024. Now all these other laws that need to be amended as it relates to parole, probation, whatever time you're doing right now, a particular person who's been convicted, uh, whatever time that you get, I think you locked in. But for anyone that commit these crimes, to where they're going to be forcing you now to do 100% of your convicted sentence that you get in the circuit court on on or after January 2025. Okay, that's when these laws is actually going to kick in for as the amendment of these certain state laws. That will not start until January 2025, on or after January 2025. That's for the new laws being amended. Okay, we got that out of the way, 2025. But understand, on the 10% bail bond, 10% bail bond, come 2024 January, that's over. 10% is 10%. $10,000, you bring $1,000. $50,000, you bring $5,000. Okay, those days are over. 10% bail bond. So the best way to beat this thing, uh, people, is just don't go to jail. Keep yourself straight. Try to avoid putting yourself in a predicament to where, uh, you could be facing a judge and perhaps given some jail time. So that's the best way that to stay out of the way of being caught up in the system, is to not put yourself at risk of facing a judge. Okay. So that's pretty much all I had to say. Like I said, I wasn't gonna come on, but I wanted to speak to you about this because the holidays are coming up, and we already know uh, from this time up to probably New Year, crime is gonna go up. Okay, people are gonna do some stupid stuff. Okay, where they're gonna find themselves standing in front of a judge, and when that happens, you're going to get a bond, and that 10% stuff is out the window. You're good for right now, 2024. But come after New Year, 2025, I mean, excuse me, 2024, I mean, you're good for 2023, excuse me, just on the 10% bail bond. But come 2024, January, you can kiss that 10% bail bond. It's gone. Um, it's going to really put everything, in a tight bind, especially our county jails. Uh, they're going to have to make a decision. They're going to have to release some people that may be out there on nonviolent crime, what have you, could be an old fine. You know, those folks, they can get ready to come on home because they're going to have to make room for some of your more hardcore uh, people who have been charged with criminal acts. Okay. So that's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to come on just to share that with you. And again, all the laws relates to murder, capital murder, crimes against children, sexual crimes, violent crimes, or what have you, child abuse, child neglect. They also got some laws in here in terms of women who may be with child. Uh, uh, we still, although that many of these states are saying women have a right uh, to an abortion, but you do still have states that are passing extreme laws, and many of those laws, by a few of these states, mostly in the South, these states are passing extreme laws to where it comes down to even sending the woman to jail, you know, uh, for getting some type of uh, abortion. All right. And so you're not out the woods yet, women. We still have Arkansas, one of them. We still have legislators who believe that they know better of uh, passing laws as it relates to your body, right? So that's all I have, ladies and gentlemen. Just wanted to come on and say that, uh, and you all go back and continue to enjoy your football, what have you, or whatever sports that you're into. And I'm gonna go and get me a little rest and watch a little television. So I want to say that I will be coming back next week, which probably would be my uh, I don't know. I'm probably gonna do two more shows before Thanksgiving, uh, maybe one, and maybe one before Christmas. About two more shows is all I'm going to do for 2023, and after that, uh, I'm going to be ready to kick back and enjoy like you all. Get a little rest. Okay. So I want to say to everyone, God bless. May you all have a remaining blessed day. Peace and love. Goodbye. Let me go to my board. I didn't know if someone wanted to make a comment. No comments. And so we did get one. Uh, at Miss Sheila Rump. That bail bond law, the jails will be crowded. Exactly, Mrs. Rump. Some of the county jails right now are really pushing back on that, trying to speak to their legislators, representative, or what have you, to see if there's any other alternatives that they can use. Because I'm telling you, uh, this bail bonding system, uh, this 10% bail bond, uh, there's going to be a lot of people that ain't going to make that 10%. Okay. I mean, I know we're talking about the high, 20 and 30 and $50,000 bonds, whatever, but there's going to be some people that can't make $5,000 bond. Okay. $5,000 bond. That means you got to bring $500 to the door. You know, here in Mississippi County, most people ain't got money like that. They just don't have $500 laying around. Okay, so this thing could really get bad. to where the county jails is going to be overflowing with people who's sitting in jail because they couldn't make uh, bail bond. All right. Uh, House arrest. I mean, that's still an expense. Even if you're talking about house arrest, yeah, you still got to pay the companies. Who's going to monitor that process? Okay, for a supervision. Uh, you're talking about ankle brace. You got to pay a company uh, to come in, contract with some company for the ankle bracing. So you still got costs involved. What I'm saying, uh, and I tell you, it's gonna get bad. It's gonna get bad. That's about the best I can say. It's gonna get bad. And so, as I said earlier, the best thing to do is just to uh, not get in trouble. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. You know, I mean, it's like you got a wheel. You either gonna have a wheel to do good or a wheel to do bad. And whichever you choose, more power to you. But if you choose to do bad, you know, you're gonna have to just suck it up and take your toothbrush and a couple of sticker deodorants and other little hygiene products or whatever, and prepare yourself for a long stay until you have your day in court for his trial if you don't cop out. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have. Uh, and may you all have a blessed remaining day. Okay? Peace and love. God bless. And I want to say good night. Exactly. I agree with you, Mrs. Ron. You are correct. If they do good, some will still be targeted. It's true. But just do the best you can do to stay out of trouble. And until then, I want to say God bless and stay out of trouble.